Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ESL 1 for Battlefield 4, our final and third season of 2014. And also welcome back to Gamescom 2014. As you probably hear in the background, it's quite loud here. There's lots of fans for lots of different games. But right here on the ESL Arena stage, we're concentrating on Battlefield 4. The champions last season up against the newcomers this season. I'm thrilled to say, all the way from Australia, Vox Eminor. Yeah, all right, okay. That was like a polite clap there, okay. And all the way, of course, our reigning champions of ESL 1 are Fnatic. I think we know where the crowd's favouritism lays right now, but I don't think we have to worry too much about that because the Australians have brought a kangaroo with them, so they have plenty of support here on the stage. Let's find out which of the commentators thinks is going to win this game. I've got a sneaky feeling I know which team they're going to go for. Let's find out with Pansy and with Alex.
Thank you so much, and I think the safe bet we can both assure you will be Fnatic. I hate to say it, I don't want to be that person to have to say the one team and say it's one-sided. But let's be serious here. Fnatic have been the team to beat. The men you can see on the right side of your screen right there, the likes of Valu, Too Easy, Unfixed, Mort. Every single player is astounding in that lineup. They've set the pace, they've set the trend. You can see Valu right there on your screen, the man who is the genius behind these guys, one of the top players from game to game, looking to make the difference. They've had hiccups. Let's not make this what it isn't. They have failed before. They have really underperformed in the last finals. But in the last season, they came out on top, finally getting the performance they needed, finally getting themselves into the position that they had to be in, and they're doing wonderfully from it. But will there be anything in their way? Last time, they chalked it up to the guns not being fair, the choices that were made by external factors held them back. But this time, there's nothing there. They have no excuses. And their opponents, Vox. Vox, a newer side to our eyes. They qualified through the Oceanic route. They didn't come through the same groups we did. A team that said they look up to Fnatic to an extent. They look at these guys for their play style, their unique way they play the games out. And let's see what they can bring. It's all down to the guys on your screen. They're very new to me. I need to catch up with their game style. I caught a couple of their games, and it's very similar to Fnatic. So let's be really honest here. They do play a very similar setup in their way they actually focus on their games. And as you can see, the vote's actually closer than the last one. Fnatic, there's 79% of you at home thinking they have this one in the bag. And Alex, do you actually agree with that? Do you think this is going to be a Fnatic game?
That's what the majority thinks, and that's what I think, Lauren. I think it's going to be tough to see what Vox can bring. I was chatting to the Vox guys earlier, just really asking what they think they can do and how they've been experiencing the EU playstyle. Yep. Consensus is they're not used to it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be a hard task. They've looked to Fnatic for their game style before. They've looked like they've taken some of their tactics on board.
They mentioned that, didn't they? Yeah.
But it's very hard to play against the real deal. Once you get playing those guys, they get in their stride, they're playing a similar game style to you, you can come against these issues that, you know that team plays it a little bit better, and you're like, well, how am I meant to come above that? How do you get around that? It's so hard.
No, that really is the problem. I was talking to Vox, and all they said was, in Australia, the people they're playing against, it's very campy, very slow. It's a real, completely different pace. Yep. A whole new meta. And so coming over here, where they're more aggressive, you've got, teams like, GC just charging at you, and they're not ready for it. And they're saying they've been playing against these teams and struggling.
Well, that's going to be a huge factor into this. And I think we've got to point out, map picks for Fnatic are always very, very vital. I spoke to a couple of different players. They said a couple of varying things, but the overall essence of what they told me was mostly the fact that they like the longer range maps. Okay. They like to keep them a distance. Yeah. I think we'll see a very standardized couple of maps coming out from Fnatic. I think we'll see Locker. I think we'll see Dawnbreaker. I think we'll see maybe those two maps be in their focus. They'll want to maybe get away from the storms, the railways. They're a bit too fast, a little bit too, not random, but there's a lot of other factors that can build up to a loss. Yeah. And I think Fnatic will want to negate that. They want to clean 2-0. They want to start off strong. Yeah. And let's bear in mind, in their last finals, they barely dropped a map.
It's two, was it? Yeah, two the entire tournament, and then in their finals,
done. So Fnatic are the team that can do this. They're the team that everyone is gunning for. You guys at home are supporting them not as much as you supported the others.
70% was it?
Yeah, you guys over-supported on the other. Now you're like hedging your bets, like, I'm not sure anymore. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I don't want to predict anything. But we do want you guys to get involved at home, obviously. Get on Twitter right now. Let us know your thoughts. Fnatic, the guys you're seeing right there. You can see Drunks in the middle, a bit of a jack of all trades, player of every single game he can. He will try everything out to get a little bit ahead of the others. And then Too Easy at this side there with Valu as well. Discussing maybe what map choices they want. Bit of a Kappa. Okay, Kappa's happening, ladies in chat, and gentlemen obviously as well. Do get that Kappa going down. Wrong way around. There we go. Kappa for life. Lovely. Lovely work there. But no, Fnatic, the team everyone's gunning for. Let me know your predictions on Twitter at They Call Me Pansy for myself and Machini TV.
Yep.
For my wonderful co-caster. Is this a Fnatic walk in the park, or will we see an upset coming in from the team that no one really predicted to even get this far? A little bit of an outsider to this, a little bit of a new contender, and you like to keep faith in this, don't you?
I do. Every single time I hear Vox talked about just see the fact that they've come all this far. Look at the kangaroo. They're really representing.
They brought the kangaroo.
And I just love that. I love the whole idea behind it. I love that they've turned up, and I love that they got this far. I mean, that's cool. Good for them. But, I mean, if they're constantly not being challenged, and I mean, this is no disrespect to what the other Australian teams, but if they're winning everything in Australia, how are they going to know what they need to improve on? If what they're doing is working, I just can't see how they're going to have that practice that Fnatic have experienced, you know?
Well, that's it. You know, you could argue Fnatic win everything, but then you get a very high caliber of teams. They've got Epsilon constantly, MYM. Everyone's gunning for them. Everyone's to anti-strat them. Everyone learns their play, and they still come out best. Whereas you look into a more condensed region where you don't get as much variety, you might get tunnel visions. You might overcompensate in one thing or the other, which may not actually be an issue. But anyway, we'll have to see if that comes into play. Vox just warming themselves up. They've just got on the stage, so they want to make sure everything is working.
I know I would when there's 30 grand on the line. So
big money.
Big money indeed. Now, something I want to raise right now is about range. I was talking to Vox. They said, "Oh, we don't want to. We want to, split and pick. We want to be slow, sit back, long range." However, we're well aware of how Fnatic feel about that kind of playstyle.
Drunks welcomes that.
Drunk says long range win-win.
Well, it's because last time I think they got a little bit jaded by the other weaponry. So back in the day when the Scar H was an option, they got pretty screwed by that. I'm going to be real honest there because MYM, there's a player called Safe. He was not maybe the founder of this weapon, but he certainly brought it to the forefront. And it was that constant Fnatic trying to play the all-rounder weapons. Safe picking this one up that was only utilized in the long range, couple it with the angle grip, and basically those first two shots hit every time. You hit that headshot, you're going to get the second.
And that's...
So you constantly got outdone. So Fnatic got pushed down to the closer range maps, and then the FAMAS came into play, which is like ideal in those close ranges.
And then it came straight back out of play as they were like, hang on, we probably don't want this weapon in competitive play. However, I'm sure you've mentioned it before, there is a replacement. There's a FAMAS V2 in the form of the CZ.
Yep, it's back there to an extent. And actually, funny enough, the team we just witnessed, Exertus, were one of those teams who actually ran with it. Yeah. They're the ones that caused frustration with it. And if maybe Fnatic get flustered early on, they start doubting themselves, they start feeling that pressure. Because they were one of the first very big teams to get a huge sponsor behind them. You know, Fnatic, as an organization, is pretty prolific. Yeah. And then everyone's like, okay, well, these guys have to win. And they said, you know, that was an element to it. We had to perform. And then that pressure builds. So if someone can make them bleed a little early on, you know, make the show that they are human, they could spiral.
Yeah. The taller they are, the harder they fall. So Fnatic, they are well aware of the expectations people have for them. They're well aware of what they need to be bringing from the start, from day one. And I think I see a shaky hand. You're well aware there's a lot of nerves. As someone, you know, you've sat there at home, chilling, killing, and then suddenly you're dropped into this stage environment. It can have its effect. And I think it did in that earlier game with GC. It
did. It definitely did. Gamers Connection finished third in the entirety to qualify through the groups. And then it got towards those group stages, and they're like, we're getting a little bit shaky here. And then it got towards the finals, and it was like, okay, well, now there's the issue. And that's the thing. If you play normally an aggressive pace, and then you try and be a little bit more slowed down when you get to these events, you're like, okay, don't risk anything, guys. Play normal.
That was a mistake.
That's when you start getting these issues. And, you know, looking at this, both these teams have that very standard, well-rounded play style. They should be able to replicate that here.
Yeah.
I think it will come down to a lot to the map votes, which I think we're about to get in towards. I think we're going to see, unless Vox take away some of the standards, I think it's going to be like a Dawnbreaker first,
Same, yep.
Shanghai maybe second, and then a Locker third would be ideal for Fnatic. So now this is time. What are they? I think Dam has to go. I think Railway and Storm are the big three you want to get rid of. The others, if they like that long range play, they get. There we go. Dam is out first. I'm glad that was removed. I think that was Vox taking that away. I think Fnatic probably going to go between a Railway or Storm, I feel. Ooh, Zaphod!
That's a strange one. Now, I remember, I was just talking to Vox earlier, they are comfortable on Dawnbreaker.
Yeah,
They
Vox,
said that before. I'm sure Fnatic want it as well, and there you go. You see Dam going away as well. A map I don't think they ever want to be playing.
Shanghai being removed. That leaves the likes of Storm in this. I think Shanghai's going.
Yeah.
That leaves Storm as a possibility. I think that'll be the third map.
Right.
Oh, actually, no, I don't know if that's a decider. I wouldn't want that as a decider.
I want Dawn first. They're going to want to start strong. Both teams are. Both comfortable on that map. It's one of those ones where it's pretty level. We're going to see that map 1 come in. I think actually, is it Locker first? Map 1, Operation Lock. We haven't seen that so far.
That used to be Fnatic's castle. That was their stronghold.
Right.
No one could beat them on that till the Famous came in. So that's going to be interesting. Dawn and yet Storm third as the decider.
A couple of whispers there between Deathhoog.
Oh, it's too easy. He's such a nice guy. He's so supportive towards most players. He's a complete scumbag. I'm allowed to say that to him. It's fine. He'll accept that. But let's break down these maps then. Starting on Locker. Back in the day, this was the map that Fnatic put their name on the map with. They were strategic. They were drilled. They were to the absolute letter. But that was when there was still Famous, there was still Scar H, there was still these really varying options.
Close combat.
Yeah, you could play it close, you could play it long range, which works perfectly out on sea with the Scar H. They started to struggle then. That's when we saw Infamous, Pyrogen, all building up against them.
Of course.
And they had to adapt. Arguably, they never came out as strong again. But they're still Fnatic on Locker, that reputation sits. But then again, if Vox like a similar game style, that's not a bad map choice for them.
It's not a bad map at all. Don't forget though, guys, we've been seeing the percentages at the bottom of your screen. Get voting, ESL-1.com. We look forward to throwing that up and seeing what you guys think. The majority was lying in Fnatic, and I am just a man for the underdog. These guys have come in, they know, well, the under kangaroo, if I wanted to kind of bring in the Oscar. So
bring it in.
Bring it in. I want to see the kangaroo. I hope the camera picks it up at some point, but we're going to see just how they perform. I really would love to see a surprise. I'm not begging for an upset, I'm not going to say that, but it would be great to see.
Well, I certainly think it's going to be a challenge if it's ever going to happen. Let's be really honest here. Vox, great team in their region, and they're the best team in their region. So they now have to face the best team out of the entirety of the others. And that's the hard point now. I'm hoping that we see a strong game from them. I'm hoping that they start off well here. And if they make an impact on this map, I think Fnatic mentally will take a little bit of a hit from it, because this was meant to be their map, their strong point, their go-to map. But if it goes wrong, there's gonna be that little bit of a voice in the back of your head going, oh, did we mess up there? Did we have an issue?
Yay.
You can see the beautiful yellow kangaroo. I think it's yellow. I think it's actually a player's name. He just nicked his jersey. But yes,
Valutaja.
big player, previously known as Reload. Before that, oh, there's been so many names. He changes names every single day. Anderson at some point. Just to keep you guessing.
Yeah, keep you on your toes. I mean, but you've said it before, the guy is an aim monster. You know, when it comes down to these 1v1s, which is a big part of these kind of Operation Locker CQB kind of environments, it's going to be a lot about these 1v1s, a lot about winning these trades, and I think Valutaja, if there was going to be a man to do it for Fnatic, it may very well be him.
Yeah, and I'm very interested to see the weapon choices as well for Vox. We will be seeing, I can imagine, Drunks, for example, will run with the AEK, probably with the stubby grip and the muzzle brake. I'll be interested to see if anyone does pick up the AEK for Vox. I think maybe Deathdog might run with that. Interested to see if he couples it with the stubby grip or not, depending on where he wants to play, where he wants to hedge his bets. Also looking at how Fnatic come about this, how they actually utilize their positioning, because they're a very set-up team. And I want to see the kind of response from the others. So we are actually ready to get underway very shortly. Just going to wait on the teams to give us the nod. Hopefully you can keep an eye on chat there to make sure when it does go down, I think on the next restart, once the VOT guys all team up. But I will take you through the lineups once we are into the game. Fnatic, I don't think we'd say it too many times, but regardless, Mort, Unfixed, Drunks, Valutaja, and Too Easy. But on the other side, the newer team to our eyes, Yellow, Deathdog, Amriel, Redding, and Sadat. looking to see who their comparable players are in this. Who's the two easy?
Kind of
who's
mirror image. Yeah,
that's it. I want to see this very similar style clash and see who comes out on top. And your predictions in this one?
Well, you're aware of how I feel about Vox. I'd love to see that first map go their way, and I'm gonna put a little bit of money. Not overly confident, but I do feel I'd like to see something from Vox.
Do you reckon a map maybe?
I think we're going to see a map, and depending on how that affects Fnatic's confidence, I'd love to see too.
Well, I think we are pretty much ready to get underway. Both teams have given the admins the nod. First map, as promised, will be Locker. Make sure you get on Twitter before this goes down and give me your predictions. Fnatic or Vox? Who are you guys at home supporting? Obviously, get your votes in on the ESL One website. Check it out. Check out all the previous cups. Get that knowledge up to date as much as possible, because there is a lot of backstory to these two teams. So I believe the Russian side for this one to start with will be Vox. The US side will be Fnatic. So arguably, Vox have the better side to start on. This could really affect things here to see how this gets building. So a couple of seconds left till we get into the game. So guys, let's get ready for this first map between these two. Fnatic up against Vox.
All right.
It's time to go. So from the very offset, let's see what they're going for. 3-2 split, standardized, but it's going to work. Let's get into game.
Okay, let's see what's going on. See what Unfixed is bringing. We're going to see a 2v2 out on that C site very early on. Amril and Yellow for the Vox side. Actually, Yellow's taking it quite... taking it heavy beating right now. Going to look, playing for the regen does so, and I want to see just where this takes them in regards to. So we got early BC hold. Vox looking to challenge it though, do succeed in taking down Unfixed, and that's going to open up that C site for an early returning capture. So we're going to see when the dust settles here. Valutage is looking to challenge though. They don't want to see that C slip away. It's a site that you can really lose quite a lot. So I'm going to be interested to see where this takes them. Look at this A site. Look at the spawns coming in now. Fnatic securing that A site, and to challenge them we see Sadat.
Could be a triple cap coming in for Fnatic. Strong start could just about be building. Vox looking to retake on A, maybe challenge out on C, and look at this. Redding coming around the backside, finds one. He's got support with the second. Sadak found too easy, now goes for the challenge onto his Strunks. Strunks maintains. So at the moment, Vox will be retaking on A, very impressive. Splitting out towards B. B is not an easy pickup. It's near on mirrored from side to side. So they've got the overmatch there. Fnatic will have the numbers to challenge this one out. Let's see how they take this on. Vox are challenging here. They are finding the shots to make.
There's very little attention to C right now. I'm surprised.
C is the outer side.
Yeah, I'm surprised Vox haven't sent someone.
They don't. I feel they're still tunnel visioned. Obviously, pressure comes on in these moments. You want to get the sites that are right in front of you. Deathlok does find value. So already, you do see a little bit of pressure, a little bit of a scrappy start. And this is what to expect at the start. Let's not read too much into it just yet, because at the beginning of these games, teams will be super aggressive, super nervous, super wanting to get everything. And this is where Fnatic comes out stronger, because they've got that more well-rounded playstyle. They'll go for the better pickups, and that's why you're seeing the tickets the way they are. 142 to 110. Vox are playing scrappy right now, but getting close. But they will not be getting these kills unless they calm down a little, slow down the pacing, and play that smart game, because now they have the 2-1. But they're not able to hold it because they're playing that scrappy, quick pickup game. They're getting overwhelmed.
It feels to me like they're almost as if they're not talking. Their communication must be a little flawed here. Maybe it's the stage environment, but Fnatic, cool, calm, collected. And as soon as they see a little chink in their armor, they're straight there calling auto glass or auto armor to get that repaired. Look at this spread now of players for Vox all around this B site, kind of clinging on to anything that Fnatic are giving them right now. And a very strong, secure hold on this C site. 3 players from Fnatic outside. Yeah,
and Too Easy picked up the double, opening up the chance to push back towards B. However, Deathdog in a fantastic spot with that AEK, looking to maybe open back on towards A, gets the respawns in. They're maintaining on B. Unfixed notices this, comes back, finds one. And they're going to maintain the threat for now, as Redding probably going to get caught in the heels, as he does, and goes down. So overall, Vox not yet in this one, struggling to make an extended impact. So they'll touch the site, they may turn it for a couple of seconds, but then they won't be able to maintain, and that's the big difference here. Fnatic, when they move into these sites, they already have that setup ready. Vox, not quite yet.
So, still clinging on to B. I want to see some sort of exchange, a successful exchange on this A side. This time it's going to be Sadak. He's holding that corner quite strong. Not going to be able to bring anything to it just yet. Drunks, in the meantime, taking down Yellow with that Ace 23, and Unfixed secures yet another. So, A site so very secure. Very interesting kind of 3-2 split with this variable play. We see Valutage this time leaving A securely in his teammate's hands, and he's going to try and fail to rotate towards that C site. Amril's going to get a teammate on him as well, so Sadak and him, the deadly duo, considering maybe a push from around the back towards that A site, but look who's there to meet them. It's going to be Unfixed and he's just going to get some more bullets back in that weaponry before he returns to his defensive position.
Oh, look at
A&C are so secure.
Yeah, Mort is in the best spot here to hold the C push, up in a fantastic little position, so if they decide to turn around, it could go well. But actually, Vox have broken through towards A. Only one man still here, which is Unfixed. He can get the reinforcement of Valo and Drunks if necessary, or if they want to play for the retake. He's trying to be cautious. He knows they're in on this site. They have the AB setup, and actually he goes down, and it's going to force the move in from Mort and Valutaja on the retake. And this is a good 2-to-1 setup. They're finally in position. They, however, have lost down a lot of tickets, and Fnatic know that. They've got a lot to work with now, and Vox need to maintain this for another minute or two before it even starts making a real impact.
Yeah, so Fnatic not too worried about this right now, and look at that, such a swift retake. 3 players was all it took. Fnatic strolling into A and making it theirs. Valutaja's going to come into contact with one
look at Drunks.
Defense. In the meantime, Drunks charging round, look on towards C. It's already kind of under scrutiny, and I'm not even sure how much of an issue towards C it's going to be. You do see C secured by Vox.
See, the smart thing there was Drunks really quickly rotated off B to catch these 2 in the back in mid, but they'd already pushed out to C, reading it smartly. That's the very similarity towards Fnatic playstyle, those fast and smart rotates. And actually, they're starting to build now, Vox. They're starting to get back into the game here. They finally got into the position they like. I'd prefer maybe Sadak to get to that spot that we saw utilized before. Then he could have been able to see Valutaja pushing outside. But regardless, they maintain the threat. But they've lost out on mid, which will allow Mort to get a little closer and start adding more pressure maybe towards this C site.
Yes, indeed. So Fnatic getting outside, and they're getting punished for it. Big plays from Vox trying to secure this site, but you have to keep an eye on those tickets. Still very highly in favor of the Fnatic side, but for how long? If Vox can maintain this B site, they can't at the moment. It's under some serious question from Mort, actually. He's been hanging around B for quite a long time. Unfixed hanging around as well. Doesn't need to move, just needs to play the waiting game. B.
Squad wipe, Drunks with a triple.
He's been doing this for far too easily, I feel. Drunks has been hanging around this corridor, you pointed out before, just hanging out in mid, keeping an eye out for any sort of progress towards both C and B. And at the moment, actually, all the action's happening in Mort. He's way over, deep in behind enemy lines, and he's going to come into contact with one just around the corner, or not, as the case may be.
Yeah, and Vox tried to do a split attack towards A, then got dealt with well. The thing with Vox is they're not completely cleaning house, so they'll take maybe 1 or 2 players down from Fnatic, but there's always that one player to avenge it really quickly for them. So it's just making it a little harder to extend. They certainly chipped away at Fnatic, showing that they are human, but then Vox didn't build off it. They didn't start that momentum going. The kills to death are still pretty close. 46 kills with Fnatic, 31 for the opposition. But Drunks is playing very well. 12-7 right now. Kills coming in just frequently. But looking overall, you can always see it. Fnatic, they may lose a site. They may have to rotate, but they always have that next site in mind.
Yeah, they're definitely they're winning the mind game right now, and I don't know whether Vox have more potential. It's going to be a trip cap, but I don't know whether or not that's going to last too long. Vox are going to be getting the spawns on A, and look at this rotate. Drunks and Too Easy. It's going to be Drunks first on the scene, see if he can pull any magic out of the hat. And actually, look at this. He's waiting very, very patiently on the prowl, waiting for someone to slip up, but those tickets are going to keep ticking away. 16 remaining, make it 15, and Vox just trying to reduce this lead. We've seen it happen in that first game. Exertus very, very good at that, but let's see if Vox can do the same.
The main thing now out towards C. This is probably going to be the final push of the first half here for Vox. They need to get this C site in the bag, but I told you how strong that position is, especially in the hands of a player like Mort. He's going to sit up there at the time of his life. Too Easy, where Drunks was before, just holding that push across from that A side towards B. They maintained the threat. Didn't expect the back spawn to come in, but with 2 tickets left in the first half, a 93 ticket lead for Fnatic there. That is a huge start for them. Vox had moments. They were close, but just not close enough.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I thought Vox maybe got into their stride around that kind of 50 ticket deficit. They started waking up, got that BC hold, but it was very short-lived, and I'd love to see, maybe is that a warm-up for them? They've been playing backstage, but was that what they needed to kick them into gear?
I'm not sure if they'll be that pleased. No. I think Fnatic will be happy with the fact they got the win in the first half. And that man on your screen, Drunks right there, should be very happy with the performance. 13-8, very smart play, super on point. I'm hoping he keeps it up. But overall, Fnatic did get pressured every now and then. But the thing I wanted to say was, there was never an extended challenge from Vox. It was always these flash in the pans. Oh, they got one by A. They could get this. No, they don't. Yeah. Oh, they've got the back spawn. No, they don't. as always dealt with by Fnatic. That's what Fnatic is strong at.
Reactive. That's exactly what Fnatic are. They had their set defensive players, but then they had that kind of elastic band back and forth reactive play from Drunks. And I mean, credit to him. Those kills he was getting were integral to holding those sites.
Absolutely pivotal. Whether it be, for example, then when you said he was waiting by that A flag, he was just waiting to see if they crossed B. That was his one hold. They knew they had the advantage of a 2-1. So he was like, well, okay, we know they're at A. I'm going to wait for them to push across and just pick up the kills and send them to the respawn. Done.
Spawn timers can be deadly.
Yes, they can. Yeah. So I think on this side, Vox needs to think of the bigger picture a little more. Think about how they want to get the sites and then hold them rather than just, got to get it right now. So a hard deficit to come back from. So basically, Vox in this one, if you're new to Battlefield, they have that 93 ticket deficit. Locker, next map, well, next half coming up, should I say.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for Vox. They need to come out of the gate swinging if they want this one in the bag. So we are going to be going live into the second half here. Fnatic now on the Russian side, the US side being Vox. Take us away.
What is going on? Fnatic considering a real early aggression towards this B site, looking to be Death Dog on the defense. And actually, I tell a lie, they've slowed straight back down into that corridor. All kind of 4 players in that role of Drunks. Right now, though, looking for that BC early hold. This is what Vox failed to do in that first half. Now they've secured it, and let's see what's going on over towards that B mid area.
Yeah, and it's Fnatic seeing if the US side was going to go for a mid play, a straight push from B up towards A. It does happen. Vox slowly building. Look at this back spawn. This is massive. A rare spawn coming in for Redding. He's going to get around the back of A. And if Vox don't give away the game too much, they could come around the backside, make sure they hold C, which is important. Yellow now is vital.
Yeah, but look at this. Too Easy might have just clocked on. He's gonna be the real man of the match if he can pick this one up. Takes down Amrel. He knows he's going to be more around there as the flag is secured. Looking for the second, just snatched away from him by Death Dog. And now Fnatic are going to be a little upset that happened.
Yes and no. I think they can't always predict that back spawn. That was huge. No. But they're going to be frustrated. They didn't expect it a little sooner maybe, or respond to it a little sooner. But even regardless of that, this is the start Vox needed. I'm surprised Fnatic, clearly being confident, went for the retake on A rather than the rotate towards C. C would be in the safer side. They could have overmatched with 2 or 3 players. They didn't do that. They went for the straight-up challenge on A. Confident, yes, but a mistake too. Look at the setup. 2 out on C, 3 down towards A, and this is where we're going to see Vox now doing the defensive play. Let's see if they can pull it off as well as Fnatic did.
Yep, that's something Vox said they were comfortable with. This is what Australian play is like all the time. So if they can get to something they're comfortable with, something they know, this is where Vox have that potential. Those tickets are going to keep bleeding away. Fnatic are well aware they need to pull their socks up and get on towards this site pronto. And it looks like Too Easy is going to be man on the scene. Not going to get anything really with the Ace 23, their weapon of choice. Looking towards outside though. The Fnatic side looking to maybe try C, try their hand at C, but there's 2 players to defend it for Vox, and they don't think it seems to be going anywhere. I tell a lie. Yellow goes down, but quick on his heels is Death Dog looking to avenge his fallen comrade and even bring him back to life as well with the revive.
If he can get it.
If he can get it. There you go. Squad spawn on him anyway. So let's see what those tickets ticking away.
The thing is, if Vox had done this the first time around, it would have been phenomenal. They do need to be careful though. 93 tickets from now, not far away. 140 to 93. Keep that in mind. If the US side, Vox Eminor, drop below 93, they are out of the first game. But they've got Fnatic low. They're holding well. The 3-2 split is paying off. Vox, though, does go down because, well, Fnatic split 1 man out from B towards the C site. If Amrel can come around and play this smart, he can make a big difference.
Yeah, I'm really worried about Amrel now. If he can try and chip away or at least keep them at C, this could be a nice slow rotate to B. But look at the players falling. Amrel's under scrutiny from Valataja, who we know is the one who can win these 1v1s, and he's going to do just that, taking down 2. And fantastic work from him. Looking for the 3rd as well as his teammates spawn in on him. Now that BC hold, is that ideal for Fnatic?
He hasn't stopped. There we go, finally goes down. Fnatic are doing what they can now. They're going into damage control mode because Vox started to get that pressure going. They started to really chip away at them. And they went, all right, let's just play safe, play smart. Let's not get overconfident. Let's slow it down a little. And that's exactly what they did. They went for the smart C pickup. But what are Vox going to respond with? They need to be just as quick on these rotates.
Spawn. Drunks has just been gifted a spawn from the gods on towards that B site. He's just going to be taking that one with ease for Fnatic. And now look who's going to receive him. It's going to be Redding. This is the 1v1 he needs to win. This is what he needs, and he does just that. Redding doing it when it matters. And in the meantime, look at that C site. Yeah,
being pincered in, though, by Fnatic. Valu up from the A site, and from B is Unfixed. Picks up the double. Valutaja, I tell you time and time again, this man makes the difference at the offline events, and kills like that secured them the entire site on C. His teammates didn't need to help out. He's left 3 players by A, the ideal setup. You can see the similarities, 2C, 3 towards A. That's the setup that we saw Vox with before, and those tickets now are going to start getting low.
Getting very dangerously close to that 93 ticket mark. You have to bear that in mind. This map will come to a close as soon as they reach the 93 mark. We've seen it time and time again that they can do this. Teams seem to struggle to secure those last few tickets if they play it right, but it doesn't look like Fnatic are going to be making that mistake. A and C so very safe in their hands right now. And we see Vox kind of playing with themselves in this mid area. Don't think they're going to make too much of it.
I have to see more waiting on site. We've got Drunk supporting. And Vox seem hesitant to make that final move, but they need to make it soon. Look at the tickets, 93, and they're holding back.
Means. They know what happens.
That's great, but they need to play. They need to make these moves, and they're so scared to put a foot in towards the site, and they're being mowed down player by player. 93 tickets now being hit. One more ticket lost.
There you go.
And there we have it. First map goes Fnatic's way. These kills mean nothing at this point. And I've got to say, at Vox, you had the chance then. They were finally building up to something. They started to have a little bit of a display of potential. But then it slowed down. They never made the moves. When they're on that AC setup, when they had that on the go, certainly had potential. They couldn't get back to it though.
No, and they tried valiantly. I do think it was more of the better team won over here on Locker. It's undeniable.
Obviously, best of 3 still.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're not over yet, but the momentum that we were suggesting Fnatic would use has just arrived in the Fnatic camp. They've got that momentum, they've got the confidence. I think, well, they've no doubt had the confidence before. We're going to be jumping into Dawnbreaker up next, a map which we are all too familiar with, and a map that a lot of teams are comfortable on. So if ever we were going to see Vox really demonstrate their strength and their abilities all the way from across the pond, it's going to be interesting to see where it takes us.
Most certainly. They're going to have to... Okay, I'm going to put it this way. If they start off on the highway side, and they go for the A pickup first and then push down towards B, I think they have a good chat in this. If they go for the aggressive start, I'm not sold. I'm hoping that they go for the smart play. We're going to have to see what they go for straight away, though. So let's see what sides they're starting on. US side will be Fnatic. Chinese side will be Vox. So let's see how Vox play this out. Their beginning is vital. 7 seconds until we get underway in the second map here. Fnatic currently leading 1-0. What are your predictions here?
If Fnatic get this at the start they want, it's going to be all good for Fnatic. See what Vox can do to challenge them. Sending 3 people down that street, Lauren. Oh, make it 4. Vox maybe going to go for an early challenge on C, and I don't think Fnatic are going to be quite ready for it. Going to catch them by surprise. In the meantime, though, B has just been gifted to them.
Easy.
So this could go very, very sour, very quick. In the meantime, let's see where it goes.
Yeah, indeed. Finally, we get into game, and you might have just almost missed a trip cap basically coming out from Fnatic there. They've bullied their way in. They're pretty damn quick on this one. Amril was there. And what I wanted from Vox was them to pick up A on the long road, coming down around here, and then work down the street. We saw it before for Exertus, I think, actually played that style. And it pays off really nicely for these standard setup teams. They should have gone for that rather than this 4-man split, maybe towards B. Didn't really pay out. However, now Fnatic can start adding pressure. They can start building. Because there's no real threat of the random respawn just yet, because they haven't needed to kill anyone. They're keeping them at distance, keeping it at arm's length. Amril may get a random respawn back here, or he might try and support it at A. But let's find out what they go for, because at the moment, Vox are just losing out in the 1v1s, and it's going to start hurting, because they only got 1 kill so far. There's a second with Death Dog. And I'm hoping they get a random respawn back by C, so they can start splitting the attention from Fnatic. If they don't, this is going to really hurt for quite some time.
Yeah, Fnatic are just setting up there. Oh, we're talking of random respawns. Redding's just appeared right slap bang on C. You were talking about it, and now I think Fnatic are going to be more than aware. Mort's on the rotate. It's going to be one of these 1v1s. Redding did it before. Can he do it again if he can secure this site? Oh, he's tapping away. Not going to quite take the helmet off just yet, though, as he does manage to secure that site. That's going to be good, but it's not ideal. AC split going to have to kind of put all their eggs in one basket to hold on to this one, and I don't think Too Easy is going to let A slip away without some sort of challenge. He's going to be coming around. It's going to be a 2v2 on this A site. In the meantime, though, exchange of fire on B. B is not left Fnatic hands yet. Early capture, and they're keeping hold.
Yeah, and they haven't even let go C. Nice work from Too Easy there with the double. Oh. There's the triple from Too Easy. That has just given them A. He's even being cautious. He's like, well, they might get another respawn. He's right to be doing so. Yellow takes him down. but he's bought time. Fnatic now need to rebuild. Those random spawns finally came in for Vox, but that's 40 tickets down. And now Fnatic need to go, okay, where are we spawning in? Let's build again.
It's a very familiar story. We've seen it in that first map. Vox, they let a little too many tickets slip away before they start holding down these this kind of two cap. Looking for the third, maybe. There's 2 players hanging around B. I don't think they're going to go just yet, despite a distinct lack of Fnatic numbers on B there, because they're heading towards A, though. Too Easy's looking to repeat history as he's heading towards his site. He's going to find one, or not, as the case may be. Amral with the defense, as Yellow actually takes his teammate down, and that's the LAN stress for you. Actually, Vox finally looking to secure anyway B as Redding does fall. Seems to be the man who's always on the mission at the moment. He's got C, look to get B, this time to no avail, and look at Deathdog.
I want him to play smart here.
Yeah, he's got the spawns, he waits.
There we go, that's it, that's what we need. However, Mort does seem to be aware of this, so Mort turning around, he's going to just play this one out carefully, maybe no. Okay, carefully doesn't work when there's a rocket in your face.
Only in Battlefield.
Only in Battlefield would you get that, but still, this is splitting the attention, this is Vox working in, but we've not really seen them build beyond that just yet.
Yeah. So they secure that C site. This is a hold that shouldn't be working. Of all teams to deal with an AC split, this should be Fnatic putting this to bed instantly, but no, the tickets are still ticking away in their favor, but for how long? Unless, of course, Valutaja's got something up his sleeve on A. Heading around, he's going to try and do exactly what Too Easy did in the past, and look at this positioning from Vox. They're holding it very, very well. The nade's looking to question that, though, and I don't think it's going to land where he wants it to. Valutaja darting back and forth, still no luck as nades coming towards him. His squad are coming in as well. That could have been messy if he hadn't got away from that nade. He goes down, courtesy of Deathdog with the ace 23, and look at these tickets. They're getting a bit closer together.
They are. Unfix is in a good position, but Fnatic have yet to take the reins back. This is being led still by Vox. Vox in a good position to make this hurt, but Unfix did get a good spawn, worked his way around fine. Amral found the second, Deathdog down. Good work, perfect position with that AEK. That's where you want it to be in. That's the range that it really starts hurting. And now Fnatic have the A site, and they can build down towards B. However, Vox in a good position in between.
Yeah, Yellow was the man on scene. He's going to meet up with his best mate, Valutaja. Valutaja just on either end of the map. He seems to be everywhere right now.
He's always the back capper on this map. He'll always spin down C.
So he's the man looking to win the 1v1. Oh, caught a glimpse. Didn't manage to secure it, though, as that site has been neutralized. A site now in no man's land, and I think it's going to be going towards maybe Vox, but for how long? Mort has the potential here. And we're seeing C slip away yet again, kind of constantly changing hands on this C site. That random spawn really can make it a rough ride for Vox, and look at their tickets now, almost a 40 ticket deficit.
Yeah, it's starting to hurt, and this could be a triple cap. Unfix is still close enough, and he's still going. Amral found 2, but now the nades, he's slowing them down on the left flank so he can watch the right side. He's buying time and time and time. Another kill. Oh my word, Unfix was a one-man army. Finally, they lose out on A, but in the meantime, they've got B and C. And Fnatic, if they put a player like Valu back on C as a dedicated player, they can just extend this all the way through.
Yeah, they're going to be happy with that one. I don't think the C is going to be questioned too much, as Fnatic have been keeping hold of it constantly. Vox get this kind of false hope. They give them the site. Fnatic don't challenge unnecessarily, but as soon as they know they can, they will get that retake. Look at this damage on B being done. Not going to take it just yet, though. Vox have had it for about 12 seconds in this game. They really, Fnatic are keeping B well and truly theirs. And look at this, Too Easy and Mort just holding that mid area, more up and down. It's a very popular position from every team, and we know just how powerful it can be. And look at this B site constantly changing hands yet again back into the Fnatic team. And look at Too Easy, the man is a common Valutaja at the moment.
He is doing real damage. He's 15-7 at the moment. Let's keep that in mind. Vox are getting close, but once again, the extended hold's not going their way. They're not able to make it count. So we will be seeing that big battle coming down towards B, but bearing in mind, Mort still has the catwalk. He can do the supporting damage from afar. Yeah,
so Sadak, a man we haven't seen too much of this game. He's actually just managed to take the C site, but in the meantime, though, Fnatic are swarming towards him. Split, we've got a 3-2 split, sending both of their resources in the right direction. I think A site's going to be quickly secured, and possibly we're going to see that C site slip away. This could very well be the trip cap that puts the first nail in the Vox coffin.
Certainly could be, but A being swarmed over. Can Unfix go big again? Gets the first, goes to the pistol, not going to get the second, goes down. But B and C were held the entire time. They're making sure their resources up in the correct places. They're not very well set up on B, however, but Too Easy's buying them a little bit of time there.
Doing a lot of that. Certainly, individual players for Fnatic are shining very, very bright in this game. Vox maybe being outclassed, I don't know, remains to be seen. At the moment, Fnatic just looking a little bit more neat. Very kind of clinical, know what they need to and when, and right now it's to hold on to B. It's slipping away from them, as is C at the same time. Could be going into panic mode, as only 18 tickets. They are very comfortable right now. C site's going to be returned into Vox control, but I'm not sure that's going to do them too much of a favor. 17 tickets remaining.
Yeah, Unfixed with the double then on C, pretty much secured them that site. He got the slightly later back spawn and then played retake, and that's just exactly how you want to do it. See how many resources they commit and then work from then on. If he only saw one player, he'd have gone for the challenge. He saw two, waited, and then took it. Valu playing this small little box room that we saw coming in for the previous game with Exertus. He can do it well, but may not hold too long, but it allows the other players from C to push back up towards B and just keep this BC hold going. Fnatic playing unorthodox, but making it work.
6 tickets, looking to see Vox slip it a little too far from the ticket lead. 87, it's been done before, but that is going to be a big one for Fnatic going into the second half.
Yeah, anything above 80 if you're Fnatic is a solid performance. 3 tickets left, AB held. It could get a little lower, but at the moment, yeah, too easy. Is going for a run down on that south road. Will he go for the long A pickup, or is he confident and going to go for B? It's the confident B play. I think we might try and slip through towards A. Here we go. No, it is B. They're feeling confident to challenge this. Any respawns will cost Vox this game now, pretty much. They're going to play up towards A. Valu hedging the bets. Good play on the west side road. They get a couple of tags. No kills just at the moment. He's going to be keeping pushing. B being challenged over 1 ticket left. This half is near on done with. As well, we're seeing Fnatic just closing out now. They know the job is done. 68 ticket lead. Not the worst we've seen, but I've got to say it, Fnatic holding strong in this one.
Yep, they are the one to beat. We've said it before, we'll say it again. Fnatic just seem to give us a 101 lesson on how to play Battlefield.
Let's just break this down even further. Too Easy got 23 kills to 10 deaths then. The man closest to you on the screen at the moment. Looking a little bit twitchy and nervy, but he's landing the shots. You can't say anything against that. Vox not really having that impact player really on board. Sadak struggled to get on the scoreboard for quite some time. Finally made it there, but at the end of the day, it's when Too Easy's on point like that, what can you do? When a player can do that, what can you do?
Yeah, I saw someone in chat saying, you know, see you at LAN Too Easy, and it's like questioning just how legitimate this guy is doing this kind of damage in a LAN environment. 23 for 10.
To be fair, he did previously have a fantastic picture taken at the last finals, where he was crying because they lost it.
No.
So he's an emotional player. He's vocal. Let's be serious here.
Yeah.
But it means a lot to him. He's one of the better gamers you'll ever find in these games, and I think we are almost ready to get underway in the second half. Any second now. Make sure the teams are all good to go. And that ticket threshold we need to keep our eyes on now. The defining factor for Vox coming into the second half in the second map will be 68 tickets. If Vox drop below that, done and dusted. Fnatic move forward. They go down to the lowest and they need to kind of weigh up where they stand. However, 20 seconds until we go live in the second half. You still saying that this is a Fnatic game here? You sticking with that one?
Yeah, I'm not too happy about it. I wanted to see that Aussie power, and it wasn't present in the end. But I'm looking at Fnatic now, and I think it's more of a case of how quickly can Fnatic wrap this up. I want to see a real top team, a team that can challenge the final and be the team to beat, which they currently are and probably will remain unless Vox really does summon up something special.
Well, let's see what they got going on here. They do seem like they're going for a strange play. So 2A, 2 mid, 1C. Maybe we go for a fast challenge on towards B or A and then respawn on Mort. They're going to give over a 2-1, but they're building late game. Yeah, Mort's playing carefully. And look at this, Vox are playing for the unorthodox BC hold. Generally, this position is played when you want to stop the random respawn behind you, but Mort did the slow play around the back, and he's going to get that shot off. That means C is now open. Maybe Emerald might be in trouble.
Yeah, the spawns are going to come in and they need to get rid of that presence fast. The enemy behind their lines, and it could be very painful unless he falls down. He's not managing to take it down. Emerald, these are the shots you need to be hitting, and this is a prime example of what's going wrong for Vox. People ask, and we have just seen a prime demonstration, out-aimed, out-gamed, and that's going to be a trip cap.
It is indeed. Luckily for Vox, they did get that A spawn, but Valu is ready and waiting. I'm not sure if that's a lucky thing. He's going to get one, goes for the second, gets the tag, he gets the frag. That's 2 down. This man's on a mission.
The guy cannot be stopped right now. And look at Drunks, he's picking up from where Valutaja left off, charging through here, looking to turn this site to his favor. Does so, takes down Redding, looking for the third. I don't think he's going to find it. In the meantime, though, C-Site is going to, well, Vox are doing their best, but look at Mort. He hasn't moved and he doesn't need to right now.
No, and already Too Easy looking for the kills here. He could be the one to pick them up.
Heading around this corner, he knows just how important holding on to C is, and right now Mort's been doing it all alone, but he does too. Looking for the third, he knows there's going to be one rust around the corner, and he's going to find it as well. He for Too Easy, man.
Living up to that name. Vox getting good spawns, but it's the triple caps that are constantly hurting them. The tickets are looking dire already. They don't have any players by A, but I'm hoping they can turn this one around. Overall, we need to keep in mind, if Vox, the team on the US side, the left side of the screen in blue, drop below 68 tickets, they're out of this one. Triple cap again being held. Vox, you got to make your impact now. It looks like it's going to come down towards A. Mort might be the first on the line.
Confidence is being well and truly shattered. Mort has moved over, he's done his damage on C. Now it's time to bring the Mort presence over on this A site. Takes down one, looking for another with the grenade, but he don't think he's going to find anything just yet. Tell a lie, Death Dog finally takes him down with the AEK, and it's really looking a bit shaky for the Vox side, but they have managed to get hold A, but for how long? Look at this Fnatic presence on A. They're going to take that, and it could very well be another triple cap. Keeping my eye on C though.
Too Easy is 10-1 already. Drunk's yet to die. This is the Fnatic that terrifies teams, that no one wants to play. They're going from A to C after the respawns of the opposition and still being able to hold it. That shot! Too Easy
from the hip
is absolutely on fire right now. 68 tickets. I'm pretty sure Vox won this over with. It's hurting too much. Their pride must be in shatters. This is unbelievable stuff from Fnatic. They are playing out of their skin. They're being able to maintain on every single side. GG's already being said.
There it is.
There is a threshold. There's nothing you can do at this point. Triple cap maintained on a map like Dawnbreaker. That is not something you see every day.
That's something that shouldn't be happening. That is incredible stuff from Fnatic. They just shone so very, very bright. GG's in chat. Vox just happy to have that opportunity to play. I mean, you said that. They take some Fnatic strats onto themselves. They see them as a kind of idols. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but they do really enjoy watching the guys play, and so playing against them on the stage environment, they must have loved it.
And to be fair, let's break it down.
Let's be real.
I think Vox played a little bit better than Gamers Connection, who they'll be facing in the lower side.
Okay, yeah.
I think Vox could make it a little further. I think they replicated the Fnatic style well. I think they maintained well. Obviously, good sportsmanship between these two. It's good to see, obviously, these two teams well aware of each other and keeping the respect going. But overall, I'd say Vox looked more impressive to me than Gamers Connection did. Whether that was a Gamers Connection bad game, which it may have been.
Possible.
I think Vox could do a little better here. They pushed Fnatic on some maps. There was a point to prove, I think, on that final half there with the consistent trip cap.
Yeah.
I think there's room for Vox.
Do you think that, I mean, was that Fnatic just really getting into it, playing, kind of getting into their stride, or was that just a statement to all these other teams saying, this is what we're capable of, fear us, we are not, I mean, people started questioning, saying, are Fnatic going to be the team to beat, and if they do get beat, is that going to be it over for them, you know? It's going to be demoralizing for them, but no, they've made a big statement with that, and we'll see exactly where it takes them.
I think you've got to point out the fact here that Too Easy went huge. He was the player that you can never expect at these offline events. Normally it's Valu doing it, or Drunks. Drunks had a great game on the first half. Everyone played their role. I think that second half on the final map was them showing we are still the Fnatic that went completely undefeated in the other season finals. We're still that team, and I think they need to keep that in mind. And they certainly wanted to prove a point to the others. I think that's, for everyone watching the crowd who's about to play in the tournament, anyone in their group, you guys did good, we just did better.
Yeah.
We just showed you how to play this. This is why we are the reigning champions. This is why we finished first in every single cup leading up to this. They look brilliant so far. I think Vox did admirably.
Yeah,
I think they actually turned up quite well. But all in all, I think Fnatic can be happy with that performance. I want to see if there's a challenger waiting a little further down the line.
Oh, we all do, yeah.
And I want to see how Vox can bounce back as well. I think they've got potential to go a little further here.
Team Vox
do as well. You down with Team Vox?
They're nice guys as well. It's really good to see the community of competitive Battlefield. They're really in it to win it, and as are Fnatic. And for all of you guys at home and here, we're going to be right back after a short break with more competitive Battlefield.